Welcome back to the next video of Spring Boot Essential Training Series, guys. So in the last video we were able to achieve this into our portfolio application, and now we have one project image here. Now this is a static image. As you can see here, if we go down to where we're adding this image to our HTML document, it's a static image. Now in this video, what I want to do, I want to create a model and I want to retrieve the data from a model and process that by controller and retrieve a dynamic link of the image and show that into our HTML file. This is our project, right? So first of all, what we're gonna do, I'm going to stop the server and then we are going to create a new package. So I'm gonna go to our main package, I'm gonna click on package, and then the package name is going to be model. Right, inside the model, we're gonna create another Java class, and I will just name it projects. Right, let's create a class, and now here we wanna add few variables. So that would be private, and that's going to be, first of all, string. That's going to be, I will just name it project name. And then we can just say local date, okay, and IntelliJ area automatically import that for us, and we'll just say date created, or maybe finish date, okay, finish date complete date. Okay, we need another field, and we will just say, or we'll just add a string here, and then we'll just say developer name. Right, so we have three variables, so we can show these data. So project name, completed date, and developer name. Now what I want to do here, I want to add a setters and getters for that. So I want to add Control N, I think it's Alt N. Okay, I'm not sure about the shortcut key, but on the Mac it's Command N. Right click, and then we click on generate, and it's not actually giving me that. So what I want to do, I want to select all these variables, right click, and then click on generate, and then we click on setters and getters, and we select all the fields, right? When I click OK, and that's it, we got all the setters and getters done for our thing. So I'm just going to cut these and paste them on the top there. Okay, let's save the file, and now what I want to do here, I want to add a constructor for this class as well. So let's just, I'm not sure what's the shortcut key for that, but whatever it is, we right click on generate, and then we click on constructor. All of these are done, select all of them, click OK, and there you go, our constructor is done as well. So we have a project name, we have the local date, which is a variable name is completed date, and then we have the developer name, right? So our model is done. Now let's go to the controller file. In the controller file, we are going to use the model map class first. So let's type model map in our method coming from Spring Framework again. Let's name it model map. And now let's go to the next line, and first we need to create an object from our project class. That's our model, right? So we'll just say project, we'll name it project is equal to new project, and then we need to give a name. So let's just say the name is going to be the same name of our image, right? So here we have a P1 image. So what I'll do, I'll just create P1, right? And then we need to create a local date. So we call it off method, and name is going, sorry, year is going to be 2017, comma, month, let's just say 05, comma, 12 is today's date. So we got this. Now let's add a developer name, which is going to be my name. Right, we created an object from our model class, which is name is projects. Now let's add that to our model map. So let's just say model map dot put method, and then name our string key, just going to be projects. We'll just name it same key, and then we just object value is going to be project. So this is the object, right? And we give it here, we added that into a model map, and then we name our instance the same as, doesn't really matter. Okay, and let's just save the file. Now, how do we retrieve the P1 into our HTML document from our model map? That's the tricky part here. Well, let's go to the HTML document, and here at the bottom here you can see this is where we are adding our image link in our source tag. So the first part, the assets folder, is going to be static because our images are in our assets folder, right? So what I want to do, I want to add a single quotation around this, which is our static part of our link, and then .jpg is going to be the static as well. So the P1 is going to be dynamic, which we want to take from our model map, basically constructor. So how do we add that? We will concatenate it first with a plus, and inside that we are going to add a $, and then curly braces, and then here we can call our key value, which was projects, and dot project name. So that would be project name. Let's go back to the project model. So that was project NAME, the capital N. I made a mistake here. So capital N. Okay, and let me just look at the project. That's fine. And then we have the same project name as the key value. So let's just go back to index.html, and it should work now. Let's save the file, and we are going to run our server, and let's see if we are able to retrieve the image, which is a P1. So let's run it, and let's see. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure we will be able to see the same image again. Our still servers is run. Let's refresh the page, and there you go, we got this image there. How cool is that? So this image is we're getting this dynamically now. Now if you want to do one more trick here, I'll show you to make sure that it's getting dynamically. We're not gonna touch this HTML document now. Let's go to our controller, and here instead of P1 I'm gonna type P2. Okay, let's save this and restart our server, and we'll start our server. And where is our P2? So I want to just make sure this is our P2 class. Actually, this looks the same. I'm gonna stop the server. We'll find a different kind of, this looks the same. So P6, yeah, bootstrap one, right? We add the P6. So let's just change the name P6 here, save the file. Let's run our server, Tomcat server, and we open this, and let's see if we get the P6 image now. Let's open localhost 8000. Server hasn't started yet. Yep, it started now. Let's refresh it. Oops, localhost, and bottom, there you go. So we got the bootstrap image now. As you can see here, we're getting whatever the name we give here, the project name. It's gonna take the same image from our assets folder and print it out to our HTML file. How cool is that? Now we have seen how to do this. Now we need to do a couple of things, such as we need to add a loop. So we don't want to write this code and again. You see this div container here, we don't want to write this again and again. We want to add a loop here which will get all of our projects dynamically. So let's do that next. Alright, so next thing, we're going to create our project repository. For that, I'm going to create a new package. So let's just name it data, and we're going to create a new Java class. We'll just call it project repository. I hope I spelled it right. And let's just get rid of these comments here, and we're going to create a list. So we're using a data structure of list. So let's just say private static, we get final as well, and then we'll just name that as let's just say list of our projects. So let's just type projects here, and then we name this as project list is equal to new, sorry, actually we can create an arrays dot as list method. Okay, and I'm just gonna import that as well. So here's a problem. Okay, cannot list. Why is this happening? Now we imported the wrong one. Let's just click here. I'm gonna click on import class, so that should remove the error. Okay, so now let's just create a new project. Okay, and here we're gonna type in the name. First of all, let's just say P1, the name of our image, what we want to show for the first repository, and then we are going to use the local date again. So local date of let's just say 2016, comma let's just say 12/17, and then comma again, and then the name of our developer. So let's just say I'll put my name, add a comma, let's create a new one, projects. So we're just creating a list here, right? P2, comma, local date, and then we can give it 2017/05/12, today's date, right? Comma, and then developer, I'll just type Tom, comma, and then I'm gonna just copy this line and then paste it a few times. Okay, so we got like a few times, all right? And then let's change the names. So let's just give 3, 4, 5, 6. These are just the images names here, right? And for the date, we can give 2017, 2004, not 57, 12, oops, 27. Well, you can give 27. It's not been created yet, so that could be. And let's just say 12, but change the month so we have a different list. And here we can just say 1, and let's just change the date to 06. And then developer names, I'm just gonna try doing a random name. So it said John, and I'm going to change the name to Mary, and I'll just say my brother's name, Mirror. And okay, so we got our list done. So add a semicolon. Now this list is private, so we need a public method to access this list outside this class. So let's write that. So we'll just type public, and return type is going to be projects. And then we'll just say find by project name, pass in string, we return, let's just say, okay, name. Okay, now to iterate to our list, we can use for, and I want to give as a project, and we'll call it project, and then I'll use this enhanced loop. So we need to type project list here, and now we can check if we can say if project dot get name, get project name dot equals name. Okay, and then what it should do, it should return the project, and if it's not match, then we can just return null. Okay, now we can access this list outside of our class. Alright, now let's go to the controller class, and here we're using this static map, like we're creating a new instance here. But now what I want to do is I actually create this project repository, and we use this find by project name method. So we can use that now instead of just writing this, creating this new object from our project class. So first of all, we need to have an object from our project repository class, so we'll do that. So private, and we'll just say project repository, and I'm just gonna call it project repository. And now, as you know, if you are familiar with Java, I assume that you're watching these tutorials after watching all the Java tutorials of mine on my channel. So if you try calling a method from this project repository class, you'll get the null pointer exceptions because we're not initializing it to anything now, okay? So to fix this problem, there are many ways that you can do. You could actually create a constructor in that class, but we're using Spring. So Spring has a special annotation that will tell the compiler that, you know, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to initialize it from our, where is it, the project model class. So actually the project repository class. I'm actually kind of sleepy right now. It's like 4 a.m. in the morning, right? So what's the annotation is, it's auto wide. Read the documentation for this if you want to learn more about it. Now, how the Spring framework or JVM or compiler gonna know that we are auto wiring, but what object, what component of our application? So we can use another annotation. So we go back to project repository, and here I'm going to add another annotation, which is, as the name suggests, component, which will tell our program that this is the component of our application. Now if we go back to controller, and now what I can do, instead of just creating a new object, I can call that method on project repository dot find project name, and then here we just type p1, and that will work the same way, right? So as you can see that we created a repository, and we are now accessing that by the help of this find by project name method. We go back to controller, we start our application server, and let's see if we are able to see the results. Now Spring is still starting, so we give it a few moments before I hit a refresh. Now it's started, so let's just refresh the page. There we go. As you can see here, we got the different image now. So if I just stop the server, and let's just say P8. What's P8? Samsung Galaxy Nougat project. So now what I can do here, I'm gonna name it P8. Save the file. Let's start our server again, and let's see if it updates that. So this is a pure Spring MVC pattern. As you can see, our code is properly organized. We're creating a separate packages for controller, for data, and for model, and we have this gallery app application. I'm supposed to change the name, but we just go with it. Now if I refresh the page, and whoa, it's giving me an error. Why it's giving us an error? Let's look at the assets. So P8, we're actually going to stop the server, and the reason why we're getting an error, because P8 doesn't exist in the repository. We'll look at it. So we have only up till P6. So if you want to use the P8, you need to have that object. What I'm trying to say here is that you need to create a new object from your model class, which is the projects class. So you need to have that. So we have up till 6. So what if I go back to controller and we change this to P6, and let's look at the image actually before we, that's the same bootstrap. We're gonna change this to somewhat like paint application, what I created in Java. So we'll just do P4 now, and let's run our server again. Let's just start our browser. I'm going to type localhost 8000, and these are the news automatically pop up. I don't like them, so okay. 8000, and there we go. We got the image, what we call it from name now. Okay, Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about, guys, but I hope you understand what we are actually doing here. So our project is pretty organized. We got separate packages. We got the data repository where we're using them in a controller. We have the controller. We have the model, which is a plain old Java object, POJO. So POJO stands for plain old Java object. Alright guys, so this is it for this video, guys. As you can see, we created a MVC pattern. We used the MVC pattern and we organized our application. So it's a huge step up in our application. So in the next video, I'll show you how to loop through to your repository and add this div container. We're gonna loop it, so whatever the repositories we have, so we have 6 repositories at the moment, so it will automatically be added to this div container with all the code here. So that's what we're gonna do in the next video. And yeah, subscribe to the channel. I've got a second channel, please check that out as well. If you're a subscriber of this channel, subscribe to that channel as well, because I'll be doing a lot more technical tips and tricks on that channel. So I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.